There are many protests which have taken place since June 2019 in Hong Kong. Crowd of people are squeezing on the street and voicing out their demands with anger roaring. On 1st of September, people rallied in front of the British consulate, their aims declaring the death of the Sino-British Joint Declaration and advocating for the rights of BNO. British National Overseas, also referred as BNO. Most of the Hong Kong people are very familiar with this status. Issued by Her Majesty's Passport Office, appeared identical as any other British passports, but with huge difference in terms of the rights. It isn't even well known amongst the British majority.
Where do you come from?
The UK. England, yeah, UK.
So let's look at this passport. Do you notice anything special?
I can't say that it looks much different to a normal British passport, but maybe I'm missing something.
Yeah. I'm sure it normally says the EU on it.
EU normally, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it is actually a BNO passport. And BNO stands for British National Overseas. So do you know what is a BNO passport?
No.
I've not heard of it before.
The story behind traced it back to the history of Hong Kong, a former colony which Britain ruled over 150 years, the Pearl of the Orient. From 1842 to 1997, Hong Kong throve under the British administration and became one of the most successful British colonies. As the lease of the new territory ran out in 1997, Britain had compromised to hand over Hong Kong sovereignty to the People's Republic of China. During the negotiation, the British government denied Hong Kong people the right to live in the UK, only giving them BNO status as a replacement of their British Overseas Territory citizenship, which many consider as a downgrade of nationality. Up to the end of 2018, there are around 170,000 BNO holders.
Do you know what's the difference between a BNO passport and a BC, that is British citizen passport?
No.
Can you imagine what's the difference?
Would a normal British passport have access to more areas, or they might just be
Maybe.
the same? I don't know.
I don't really know.
While British citizens enjoy full rights of settling in the UK and freedom of movement in EU, British National Overseas could only enter the UK or EU for 6 months as tourists. A British National Overseas holds a British passport, is subject to immigration control and does not have the right to live or work in the UK. Neither are they considered UK national by the EU provision. They are also not given the right to vote unless they are given leave to reside in the UK. Although they are entitled to British consular protection, China does not recognize BNO as British national. In this respect, BNOs are refused consular protection in Hong Kong. After we have shown the differences in terms of rights between British nationals overseas and British citizens, let's see what were the response from the local British people.
It's quite shocking. I didn't realise that you would, if you've got a British passport, surely you should be allowed the same rights.
It's so similar, so there'd be such different rights associated with it.
So do you think that BNO holders should be granted the same entitlement as other British subjects?
I think they should, yeah. Because if you hold a British passport, surely you should be allowed what British citizens have as well.
Some of the MPs are highly concerned about Hong Kong's recent situation, and some of them have raised the issue that British nationals overseas should be given the same entitlement as British citizens. There are also more than 150 parliamentarians, 40 of whom are MPs, urging the government to call for 53 Commonwealth nations to give Hong Kong citizens a second citizenship as a lifeboat policy.
We urge the British government to react accordingly and take immediate actions to protect the British nationals in Hong Kong by any means necessary.
What do you think the UK government should do to help Hong Kong people?
I think they should reconsider the rights that BNO holders have and should think about that a bit more because it doesn't seem fair. Yeah.
No, I agree. Given the political climate in Hong Kong at the moment, I think it would only be fair for them to reconsider that status.
Yeah.
After all, the status of BNO leaves an awkward position to its holders and also the UK government. British national overseas as British nationals, yet having no right to stay in their country. In the event of Hong Kong crisis, what will be the destiny of BNO in the end?